Welcome to my channel Dose of Luxury.
Going to talk about most beautiful and unique gardens in the United States. The following are some of the most beautiful and unique gardens in the United States. Whether you like cacti or roses or secret gardens, you're sure to find something for you on this list. These beautiful and unique gardens in the United States have towering desert cacti, enormous water lilies, and underground fruit trees. 1. Washington Park Arboretum, Washington. Washington Park Arboretum is a botanical garden that borders Lake Washington and features 230 acres of plant life. You can see paperback maple trees, witch hazel, and honeysuckle as you meander down the stone pathway. The Arboretum is a welcome oasis on the shores of Lake Washington. Jointly managed by the University of Washington Botanic Gardens and the City of Seattle, its 230 acres contain a dynamic assortment of plants. 2. Nishinomiya Tsudakawa Japanese Garden, Spokane, Washington. Tucked away in the city of Spokane is a tranquil Japanese garden that was completed in 1974. It was designed by a well-known Japanese architect, Nagao Sakurai. The garden features Japanese plants like flowering cherry trees. Construction of the waterfall and pond began in 1970. Late in 1973, after the original architect suffered a stroke, two landscape architects from Kobe, Japan, Shosuke Nagai, and Hirohiko Kawii, were contracted to complete the garden, which was dedicated on May 17, 1974. 3. Forestiere Underground Gardens, Fresno, California. Fresno, California, is usually a pass-through destination as people travel to Yosemite National Park. It's known much more for its farming than its gardens. Tucked in a developed area of the city is an incredible underground garden that's right relief to those visiting in the heat of summer. It's an incredible hole-in-the-wall destination. Today, guests from around the world tour through his grottos, passageways and underground homes at his underground gardens in Fresno. Although he never officially opened the Mediterranean resort of his dreams. 4. Peninsula Park Rose Garden, Portland, Oregon. Peninsula Park is a public park in the Piedmont neighborhood of Portland, Oregon, United States. The 16.27-acre park is located in the North Portland neighborhood and contains an outdoor swimming pool, community center, baseball fields, playgrounds, basketball courts, tennis courts, covered picnic areas, a historic gazebo. It is also home to Portland's official rose called Madame Caroline Tessot. The best news is that it is free to visit the park that is more than 100 years old. It has a lovely central fountain and features more than 5,000 stems to walk around and view. 5. Astaku Azalea Garden, Maine. Astaku Azalea Garden is a Japanese-inspired garden that features water lilies, cherry trees, and breathtaking azaleas. The Astaku Azalea Garden is an inspiring garden at the preserve, combining the best natural features of Mount Desert Island with design elements inspired by classic Japanese gardens. Located in Northeast Harbor, the beauty of Astaku changes and evolves throughout the year. A flowering cherry tree heralds the start of the season in mid-May. This is followed by a myriad of colorful azaleas and rhododendrons which bloom from late May through June. 6. Bird Haven Farm, New Jersey. Bird Haven Farm is a celebration of the vision and collector's spirit of Janet Mabeck and Wayne Nordberg. The barns, outbuildings, and original 19th century stone house have been joined by a contemporary house designed by Smith Miller plus Hawkinson in the 1990s, and more recently by a guest house by Parsons plus Fernandez Castellero. You can explore 25 acres of orchards, hay meadows, perennials and shrubs, and a pond. There is also a children's maze garden as well as an elf stump. 7. The Met Cloisters, Manhattan, New York. The Cloisters, also known as the Met Cloisters, is a museum in the Washington Heights neighborhood of Upper Manhattan, New York City. The museum, situated in Fort Tryon Park, specializes in European medieval art and architecture, with a focus on the Romanesque and Gothic periods. Its buildings are centered around four cloisters, the Cuxa, St. Guilhem, Bonafont and Tri, that were acquired by American sculptor and art dealer George Gray Barnard in France before 1913, and moved to New York. 8. Topiary Garden, Columbus, Ohio. The park is located in downtown Columbus. It features topiaries trimmed into life-size shapes of men, women, children, animals, and boats and arranged to resemble the painting. Specifically, there are topiaries of 54 people, 8 boats, 3 dogs, a monkey, and a cat. It also hosts 220 trees, including 35 different species. There is no other place where you can walk through dozens of topiaries. There are well more than 50 sculpted topiaries, including people, boats, and animals. 9. Desert Botanical Garden, Phoenix, Arizona. The Desert Botanical Garden is made up of more than 140 acres. There are 5 different loops to explore, like the Hummingbird Garden, Cactus and Succulent Galleries, and an edible garden. Desert Botanical Garden is located in Papago Park, at 1201 N. Founded by the Arizona Cactus and Native Flora Society in 1937 and established at this site in 1939, the garden now has more than 50,000 plants in more than 4,000 taxa, one-third of which are native to the area, including 379 species. 10. Vizcaya Museum and Garden, Miami, Florida. The Vizcaya Museum and Gardens, previously known as Villa Vizcaya, is the former villa and estate of businessman James Deering. The early 20th century Vizcaya estate also includes extensive Italian Renaissance gardens, native woodland landscape. Tucked inside Miami is a breathtaking Gilded Age estate on Biscayne Bay surrounded by 10 acres of formal gardens, a mangrove shoreline, and rockland hammock. The geometric gardens are just the beginning of all there is to see at this 5-acre estate.
Thanks for watching. Like and don't forget to subscribe.